All right, so for this point of 10.1, we're going to talk about how to find symmetry, right? So functions can either be symmetric with the x-axis, so that means, so this would be symmetric with the x, because if I take this and like flip it over, it's going to like be on its, like land on itself, right? So we can have x-axis symmetry, we can have y-axis symmetry, right? Or we can have symmetry over the origin, which is kind of like both. So like through this line here. So that would be something that looks like, could be a hyperbola. So we could have two things, one thing, anything like that. Now, we're not going to necessarily worry about the graphs. Don't panic. I just want to show you guys what they would look like. But we're going to learn how to look at the function and tell whether it is symmetric to the x-axis, y-axis, origin. Could be all three, could be one, could be none. But we're going to learn how to check. All right, so first let's learn how to test x-axis symmetry. So we're going to replace y with a negative y and then simplify. So the equation we're going to use for all three of these is y squared equals 4x. Right, so we're going to replace y with negative y. Right, so negative y times negative y would be positive y squared, right? So when you square a negative, it becomes a positive. So there we go. So since it stays the same as the original equation, right, that means it does have x-axis symmetry. Right, so the goal is to keep them the same. If they stay the same when you do the replacement, they are symmetric. If the sign changes, then they are not symmetric. All right, so now let's check this with the y-axis symmetry. So let me move this over here. So for y-axis, we're going to replace x with negative x. So we have y squared equals 4 times negative x, which is just negative 4x. So this one's different, right? This is different than this. So this one is not symmetric to the y-axis. Right, and then we will have the origin. So we're going to replace both x and y with negative x and negative y. Oh, really? All right. So I'm just trying to move around until we get more room. All right, so that's going to be negative y squared equals 4 times negative x. So we know that y squared is that. We know that this becomes that because we've already done this. So this one would also not be symmetric. So this equation is only symmetric about the x-axis. Right, so you're going to test all of your equations like this. Okay, so hopefully overall that was pretty clear to you guys. So on page 192, today I want to have you guys do problem number 2, which is basically just asking you to find the symmetry for all of the problems that you did in problem number 1. All right, so again, look back at this. If you need any help, please email me. I'm happy to do that, and please just make sure you post your assignment to LMS when you're finished.